Mounce, BBG, chapter 23, sentence 1. All right. Starts off with just a verb. So, hopefully at this point you take a look at this and you recognize, first of all, you ought to recognize that it comes from, pistuo. Second thing is, knowing it comes from pistuo tells you do definitely have an augment, because otherwise you might be tempted to see this sigma and think you were looking at a future. But of course, with the combination of that augment and then this, then you can say, well, wait a minute, that's an aorist because of that sa. What that means is pistuo is a first aorist. So knowing that, you should also know that if you have no ending like that, in the case of the aorist, the only place that works is first singular, where the new that we would expect to see sort of drops off. And I'm sure Mounce could explain why, but bottom line is it does drop off, and so you end up just seeing that saw at the end, and you know that it's first singular. So it's I believed, right, from pistuo. So I believed, therefore, or wherefore, and then you got a similar thing here, because you probably recognize laleo, right? And knowing that it's laleo tells you that this is a elongated connecting vowel here with the eta. You also see that very clearly that that's an augment as well. And then you got that sa again at the end, which tells you that it's first singular. So I believe, therefore, or wherefore I spoke. And then you have an interesting thing, because you can see this chi and the chi here. It's like I believed and then we believe. So hopefully you recognize that this chi is not just an addition. It's more like a comparative. So really, what you want to do with something like that is also, um, you know, and then recognize that you're going to do also because both of these clauses are comparing with these two. In other words, I believe, therefore I spoke. We also believe, and you see this one, this pistuomen, that's just a simple present, right? And it's first plural. So we believe, and that lines up with your personal pronoun here, right? And then you have another wherefore, also, and then you got to look at this one and say, well, I know laleo again is this contract verb, so that's why we have the circumflex. That helps us out there. You have a first plural again because that lines up with the way the sentence is put together. So really, it's not that hard. It's just the kai can throw you in this case, and of course, Mounce is also trying to get you to look at aorists there in the first couple of parts. So going back, you've got I believed, therefore I spoke. We also believe, wherefore or therefore we also speak. All right. Now I realize I'm throwing the chi into the middle, but I think that's the way we would say it in English. And so that's kind of the way I'm treating that. But even so, even if you didn't, I believed, therefore I spoke. Also, we believe, wherefore also we speak. That still works. It's just not quite the way we typically say it. Okay.